Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. As always, I'm your host, the Game Master, and today we're going to be talking about the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Justice League, the X-Men, the Infinity Gems, all sorts of stuff. But before we get into all that, smash like, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell, and leave us a comment. We've got a great community here, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. With all that said, let's dive in. The prologue to this one takes place in the Great Hall of the Justice League. There are assembled the world's greatest heroes comparing notes. Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, talks about the recent events in the USSR where the entire population vanished briefly. They reappeared exactly 1 minute later, and people who had been in planes or cars reappeared traveling at the same speed where their vehicle used to be. And when they vanished, the unmanned vehicles crashed, of course. Superman Red says that recently, when the Kara Zor-El of Earth K and her counterpart, the Kara Zor-El of the negative universe, came to him for help, they recruited one of his counterparts, the Red King, hoping to get some extra help. And when Ultraman, the evil twin of Superman, showed up wanting to beat Ultra Girl, the Red King killed him brutally. Superman Red says the Red King ripped out Ultraman's spine and then beat him with it. Bruce Wayne speaks up. In the recent encounter with the crime syndicate from the negative universe, he actually had a heart attack. Bruce has been fighting crime for 25 years now, and it's taken its toll on his heart. As such, he's getting ready to pass the torch to Dick Grayson. But for now, he's here, and he's the guy who has all the info. According to Bruce, while our world's Superman is weakened by kryptonite, their world's Ultraman gained one new random power every time he encountered kryptonite. So he had all the villains in the negative universe gather up all their kryptonite and bring it to him. So when he came to Earth K, he seemed all powerful until he got his spine effortlessly ripped out. Superman Red tells the Justice League about the Infinity Gems, and the heroes realize how powerful the Red King really is and what a massive threat he's become. Bruce Wayne says they need to hit him hard and hit him now. They can't give him any time to prepare. The Martian Manhunter uses his telepathy to instantly contact Professor Charles Xavier at the X Mansion in Westchester, New York. Manhunter conveys the situation, and Xavier, in turn, says to me, my X-Men. Likewise, the Flash runs to the Avengers mansion in New York City, and he tells them what's going on. In other words, all of Earth K's superheroes prepare to take on the Hellfire Club. Which brings us to the main plot, which takes place in the Hellfire Club building in New York City, where the Red King is in the main ballroom drinking wine with his fellow Hellfire Club members. The Hellfire Club, by the way, currently consists of the following characters: Amora, the Enchantress, the Norse goddess of love. No man can resist her charms except for Thor for some reason. Anataz, who is Zatanna's counterpart from the negative universe. She used to wear a white top hat, white dress pants, and a black dress shirt with a white bow tie. Now, as a member of the Hellfire Club, she's traded in that for the same sort of outfit that the White Queen always wears. Azazel, a mutant with red skin and teleportation powers. He's a current member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and he answers to Magneto, who is now the Gray King of the Hellfire Club, just like in the comics. He spends a lot of time with Mystique. The Black Siren, aka Dinah, is the negative universe's version of the Black Canary. She now wears what the Black Queen wears. The Black Widow, Nat Romanoff, who was once married to one of the Red King's counterparts until the USSR killed him off, then sent her to take down the Red King. Instead, she went native, and she now wears what the Black Queen wears. The Cheetah, aka Priscilla Rich, who's now an actual were cheetah with super speed, regeneration, claws, etc. The female Dr. Chaos, aka Inza Nelson, is the negative universe's counterpart to the female Dr. Fate. The female Dr. Manhattan, aka Janie Slater, who walked into a test chamber to retrieve her watch, but it removed the intrinsic fields that held her atoms together. Janie Slater's precognition and the Red King's precognition, by the way, cancel each other out. So neither of them saw this day coming. Dr. Tunguska, aka Anomalia, is a beautiful Russian girl who got her powers from the Tunguska blast of 1908. She was the USSR's answer to Dr. Manhattan before joining the Hellfire Club. Emma Frost, one of the women who recruited the Red King into the Hellfire Club to begin with. So she got this ball rolling. Eve, one of the fembots created from that alien signal that taught humanity how to build fembots and supercomputers that would upgrade their nuclear arsenals. As such, the American fembot known as Eve is basically a walking Skynet. The Gray Gargoyle, aka Paul Pierre Duval, can turn anything he touches to stone. He answers to Magneto, the Gray King. Harley Quinn, aka Harleen Quinzel, is the Joker's ex-girlfriend from the Golden Age. She was dating the Red King after the Joker and Lex Luthor were imprisoned in 1949. Jeannie of I Dream of Jeannie fame, whose motivation has been changed from thrill of adventure to controlled by Red King, using the spy skill from first edition DC Heroes, specifically the brainwashing sub-skill. The female parasite, Alexandra Alston, is the sister of the male parasite, who was brought here by the Terminatrix. Like all the other girls, her motivation was also changed to controlled by Red King. Lorelei, or Lorelei, I'm not quite sure how they want it pronounced, is a Marvel character. She's the younger sister of Amora the Enchantress, and she has most of her sister's same abilities, so men love her too. Marilyn Munster from the Munsters is here, not because she's powerful, but rather because of her extreme beauty. She's actually dating Wednesday Addams, who's also a member. Marvel Woman, aka Avril Lear, created by Dr. Gargunza in a secret lab under London, the cloning equipment that was used to mass produce Marvel Woman was brought to America. And everything the Red King hated about how she was treated then, he himself is guilty of now. Mary Super, aka Mary Mayhem, is the counterpart of Mary Marvel from the Negative Universe. She dyes her hair blonde and wears an outfit like the White Queen does. Mistro, the She-Hulk counterpart from the Negative Universe, who managed to kill most of the Marvel characters from that world. She now wields the shield of Negaverse Steve Rogers as well as the hammer of Negaverse Thor, which can only be lifted by those who were unworthy. Monica is a high-ranking member of a secret vampire society known as the Kindred. They take part in what they refer to as the Masquerade, where they pretend to be human, but behind the scenes try to control the world. Mystique, aka Raven Darkholm, is a blue-skinned, red-haired, yellow-eyed mutant shapeshifter. She wears an outfit similar to what the White Queen wears. She spends a lot of time with Azazel. Namora, former Queen of Atlantis, who waged war against surface dwellers in World War II. She wears an outfit like the Black Queen does. Olympia, aka Donna Troy, is Wonder Girl's counterpart from the negative universe. Like her heroic counterpart, she's a clone of Diana created during World War II. Owl Girl, aka Barbara Gordon, is Batgirl's counterpart from the negative universe. She's become an executioner of sorts. Poison Ivy, aka Pamela Isley, whose pheromones are a huge problem for any male characters who enter the same area as her. While the powers of the Enchantress only work on men, Poison Ivy has actually shown that she's able to use her powers on female characters as well. Quicksilver, aka Pietro Maximoff, is the son of Magneto, the Gray King. As such, Quicksilver is wearing a gray dress jacket and gray dress pants. The Red She-Hulk, aka Betty Ross, is the daughter of Thunderbolt Ross and the ex-girlfriend of Bruce Banner. Samantha of Bewitched fame is a ridiculously powerful witch whose motivation has been changed from responsibility of power to controlled by Red King, just like all the other female characters here. Selene Gallio is the immortal who recruited the Red King and in many ways is responsible for everything that happens today. She wears a black corset, black thigh-high boots, and a black fur-trimmed cape. Shaira the Valkyrie is Hawkgirl's counterpart from the negative universe. She has blonde hair and white wings. She now wears an outfit like the White Queen. Spiral, aka Rita Wayward, hails from Mojo World, which exists in a completely different dimension and time period. She came here to get her 6 hands on the Infinity Gems, but she failed. Her motivation is now controlled by Red King. Superwoman, aka Diana, is Wonder Woman's counterpart from the negative universe. She now refers to herself as the Black Queen. She wears a black corset, black thigh-high boots, etc., which is really not a big change from what she was already wearing. And she has a glowing golden whip. The Terminatrix, aka Ravonna Renslayer, is from the 40th century. She came here with several characters she recruited from other time periods, trying to steal the Infinity Gems. But now she has that same motivation. Toad, aka Mortimer Toynbee, is a member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants who seems to be completely loyal to Magneto. He also serves as one of Magneto's gray pawns. Ultra Girl, aka Kara Zor-El, is Supergirl's counterpart from the negative universe who gains more powers every time she comes into contact with kryptonite. Using German cloning technology, there are now a ton of Ultra Girl clones who serve as the Red King's many red pawns. Princess Baranki is an alien shapeshifter known as a Skrull who was forced into exile by Emperor Doric of the Skrull Empire. She wears a red corset, red thigh-high boots, etc. Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, aka the Red Queen. She's the daughter of Magneto, the Gray King, but she and her father don't really get along, which is why she isn't the Gray Queen. Water Witch, who controls water, is a member of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and since Magneto is the Gray King, she's now a member of the Hellfire Club, too. Wednesday Addams learned sorcery at Nevermore Academy in Vermont, and now she's a member of the Hellfire Club. Whirlwind, who controls air, is a member of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and also a member of the Hellfire Club. White Knight, aka Jason Wingard, aka Mastermind. He was actually a member of the Hellfire Club before Magneto joined. Mastermind is one of the villains who manipulated various politicians into creating the recent Cuban Missile Crisis. He's also a member of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Facing these villains are the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Justice League of America, and the X-Men, who in 1964, their current rosters include the following: Angel, Ant-Man, Aquaman, the Atom, Batman, Beast, Black Canary, Captain Atom, Cyclops, Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange, Elongated Man, The Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Hawkman, the Human Torch, Iceman, the Invisible Girl, Iron Man, the Martian Manhunter, Marvel Girl, Metamorpho, Mr. Fantastic, Phantom Stranger, Superman, The Thing, Thor, Wasp, and Wonder Woman. The heroes enter the Hellfire Club through Doctor Strange's round portals, as well as the Ankh-shaped portals of Doctor Fate, which was actually a bad decision because that means two of your heaviest hitters who can substitute the sorcery power for every other power in the book are now just doors. All their actions are wasted just getting the other heroes here, and hardly any of the other heroes can sub their power for every power in the book. Conversely, the Hellfire Club roster was built for war and is full of characters who can sub their power for whatever power they need. Before they get to mop the floor of the heroes, though, Superman is faster. He has 45 APs of flight. Keep in mind that 29 APs is the speed of light, and this is an exponential system. So that means 30 APs is 2 times the speed of light. 31 APs is 4 times the speed of light. 32 is 8 times. 33 is 16. 34 is 32. 35 is 64 times the speed of light. So that means that Superman's 45 APs of speed means that he can move at 65,536 times the speed of light. So he goes first. On Superman's turn, on his first automatic action, he takes the Infinity Gems from the Red King. And on his second automatic action, he flies away from all these magic users, since he has a lost vulnerability to magic. Specifically, as he flies, he breaks the time barrier, which we saw him do every time he commuted back and forth to the 30th century when he was in the Legion of Superheroes. So that's what Superman Blue did. As for the heroic Superman Red, he attacks his counterpart, the Red King. And without the Infinity Gems, that means now they have the exact same attributes, power, skills, advantages, etc. So their fight is completely evenly matched. Angel attacks Azazel and manages to knock Azazel out. Ant-Man attacks Toad, but Toad knocks out Ant-Man. Aquaman attacks Namora and knocks her out. The Atom attacks Harley Quinn, but she knocks him out, partially thanks to the super soldier serum-like concoction that she took during World War II. Batman attacks Owlgirl, but she wins, and again, Bruce has another heart attack. Just like on the pilot episode of Batman Beyond, Bruce Wayne just can't keep doing this. Beast attacks Cheetah, but Cheetah knocks out Beast by subbing her super speed for how hard she hits. Black Canary attacks her counterpart, Black Siren, and thus far, neither win. Both counter the other one's attack. Captain Atom attacks his counterpart, Dr. Manhattan, and they too are evenly matched. Cyclops attacks Magneto, but as in their earlier encounters, Magneto trounces Cyclops effortlessly. Dr. Fate and Dr. Strange are basically doorways at this point. Elongated Man attacks Mystique, but Mystique subs her martial arts skill for how much damage she can do, and so she actually knocks out Elongated Man. Flash attacks Quicksilver, and while Quicksilver can move at the speed of sound, which is 10 APs, the Flash can move at the speed of light, which is 29 APs, so Flash wins. Green Arrow attacks Monica, and his arrows, by the way, act like wooden stakes. So every time an arrow pierces her, its wooden shaft causes her to become paralyzed. Green Lantern attacks Jeannie, trying to put her into a bottle that he made out of glowing green force manipulation energy. But since it's not her real bottle, she just crosses her arms and nods her head and is free. Guy Gardner attacks Samantha using a glowing green fist, but he put too many points into how much damage the fist did and didn't give it enough points in dexterity, so it misses her. She then wiggles her nose and he falls asleep on the spot. Hawkgirl attacks Shaira the Valkyrie, swinging her nth metal mace at her, but the Valkyrie parries it. And once again, the two are evenly matched. Hawkman attacks Whirlwind, but Whirlwind wins. Human Torch attacks the Red She-Hulk, which was stupid because she's hot in more ways than one. Conversely, her monstrous strength works just fine against Johnny Storm's smug face. Iceman attacks Water Witch, and she attempts some power stunts to be able to do all the things Iceman can do, but she falls short, and it's Iceman who wins. Invisible Girl attacks Poison Ivy, bottling those pheromones. Once inside of an invisible bubble-shaped force field, Poison Ivy is helpless, so she calls out to Harley Quinn for backup. Iron Man attacks Eve. The fembot can not only take control of America's nuclear arsenal, she can also hack Iron Man's armor, shutting his weapons down and trapping him inside of it. Tony can't move an inch once it's locked down. Jean Grey attacks Emma Frost, but it's Emma who wins, partially because this version of Jean is so young and inexperienced by comparison. Martian Manhunter attacks Mastermind and knocks him out. Mary Marvel attacks her counterpart, Mary Super, and as is the case with so many of these fights, the two girls are completely evenly matched, so it's a draw. Metamorpho attacks Parasite, but Parasite absorbs his powers, then knocks him out. Mr. Fantastic attacks Varanki, the Skrull Princess, and it's Reed Richards who wins. Phantom Stranger attacks Ravonna Renslayer, the Terminatrix. Phantom Stranger wins. Professor Xavier attacks Dr. Tunguska, but her mind is powerful enough that she does not go down. Instead, she hits him with brute strength and it's lights out. The Thing attacks the Grey Gargoyle and wins. Thor attacks Mistro, which was an interesting fight. They both actually try to wield the other one's hammer at one point and are both confused when they can't lift it. So they use their own hammers, and it's the counterpart of She-Hulk who wins because her hammer boosts her pre-existing strength several column shifts. If this is confusing, think of it this way. If you took their hammers away entirely, imagine a fight between the normal She-Hulk and Dr. Donald Blake. That's about how this one went. The hammers just add an equal amount of column shifts to each combatant's attributes. Wasp attacks Marilyn Munster, which is an easy knockout, but it does make Wednesday Addams angry. Wonder Girl attacks Olympia, but they're evenly matched, so it's a draw. Wonder Woman attacks her counterpart, Superwoman, and needs an 11 or better to hit. She gets it and clocks her evil twin faster than Superwoman can block with her own bracelets. And if you can get around those bracelets, you can win. So Superwoman goes down. Zatanna attacks her counterpart, Anataz, but Zatanna gets some bad rolls. And even though they have the same stats, it's Anataz who's the winner. And that's all the heroes. The villains who hadn't done anything yet then go. So Dr. Chaos attacks Dr. Fate and knocks out Fate, who had misused their turn. Likewise, the Red Queen, aka Wanda Maximoff, attacks Doctor Strange. And when Strange didn't bother to erect a single force field or anything, all those APs of probability control make it insanely easy to knock out Doctor Strange. Amora and her sister Lorelei use their powers on all the men who were then, to say the least, distracted, except for Thor. Spiral teleports the Green Lanterns to Mojo World and leaves them there, then returns to the Hellfire Club. Wednesday Addams saves her girlfriend by capturing the Wasp in a bottle she conjured up, as if the Wasp were a mere lightning bug. Celine Gallio sips her wine and watches the chaos with a smirk. And finally, all those clones of Marvel Woman and Ultra Girl, who were the Red Pawns, show up and multi-attack the heroes with ranged attacks consisting of heat vision and lightning. All the heroes are knocked out, except for Superman, who fled through time with the Infinity Gauntlet. Terminatrix, aka Ravonna Renslayer, searches for the Infinity Gauntlet, but can't figure out where Superman took it. After all, Superman doesn't only have access to all of time, but he can fly at 45 APs of speed to any planet in a universe that is infinite in size. So for now, the Infinity Gauntlet seems to be lost in eternity. Which brings us to the epilogue. The heroes begin to wake up, and Superman has returned empty-handed to ask if everyone's all right. The heroes are all fine. Nobody died. But the Hellfire Club building has been completely cleaned out. No rugs on the floors, no furniture, even the candles are missing. The building is now cold and the villains are gone. The Flash begins to search for them at the speed of light, but he can't find them anywhere. And I mean anywhere. Superman says the villains may have disappeared, but if they ever show up again, the heroes will be ready for them. Meanwhile, at Casa de Lamport in Mexico, Amora, Anataz, Cheetah, Black Siren, Dr. Chaos, Dr. Manhattan, Dr. Tunguska, Emma Frost, Eve, Harley Quinn, Jeannie, Lorelei, Marilyn Munster, Marvel Woman, Mary Super, Mistro, Monica, Mystique, Namora, Olympia, Owlgirl, Parasite, Poison Ivy, Red She-Hulk, Samantha, Celine Gallio, Shaira the Valkyrie, Spiral, Superwoman, Terminatrix, Ultra Girl, Varanki, Wanda, Maximoff, Water Witch, and Wednesday Addams are all gathered around the Fountain of Youth, which is at the center of a massive swimming pool behind the Red King's gigantic mansion here on land that he's owned since the 17th century. The Red King still has the powers of Superman Red, but now he doesn't have the Infinity Gems anymore, which he had been using to hack the brains of all these women and max out their dopamine levels, which means now they are all having the worst withdrawal symptoms possible. So everything they've been doing is going to catch up to them now. And that was it for that game session. I'd hoped the fighting might have gone on longer than it did, but there just weren't enough superheroes to deal with all the Hellfire Club members. So the ones who had nobody fighting them were able to take action and turn the tide. Speaking of turning the tide, when Red King fought the female Parasite, Spiral, and Terminatrix last game, he hid the gems from them because if Spiral used her dimension travel on them, it would have ruined them. The gems lose their power when taken to other realms, like the Mojoverse. Point being, when Red King put the Infinity Rings back on again, he forgot to have them grow roots into his bones like he did before. And like I've said in previous videos, the devil is in the details. So when he forgot to explicitly state that the rings could not be removed, Superman removed them. So really, on multiple levels, the Red King's worst enemy is himself. Anyways, so we thought this one was interesting. We hope that you did too. If so, smash that like button, ring the bell so you know when we upload more content. Make sure you're subscribed because YouTube loves to unsubscribe you without letting you know. And leave us a comment. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, and we just love hearing from you guys. So from all of us here at the longest running superhero role-playing game on Earth, we hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you in the next adventure.